Hey guys, what's up? Another devlog. This time we're going to talk about crystal rotation. When you pick up a crystal, it needs to rotate around the player. So that's pretty simple to do. You just rotate it around the player. There's a million ways to do that. What happens when I pick up another crystal? I want them to rotate perfectly around the player. When I say perfectly, I mean in perfect unison that it'll look perfect. So if I have two of them, we have one and the other one is 180 degrees opposite the first one. So, because you have 360 degrees, and I want each crystal to be 360 divided by the amount of crystals away from the previous one. I hope you got that. Let's just give a couple of examples. If I have one, it rotates. If I have two, they're 180 degrees from each other as they rotate. If I have three, they're 120 degrees from each other. If I have four, they're 90 degrees from each other. Okay, they have like 4 points, and then that's not a good example. It's 4 points, and they just rotate around. You'll see that in a second. It'll be way clearer. Question is, how do I do that logistically, from a logic perspective, from a coding perspective? It's actually, once you wrap your head around it, it's pretty simple, I think. And the way that I did it is actually have a target for each crystal. Each crystal always moves towards its target. So I can manipulate the target however I want to, and the crystal will get there. The crystal actually moves a lot faster than the target moves, so it'll eventually catch up and then just stay on top of the target. The targets, I move them around in a circular fashion around the player. And the crystal, whenever I touch it, it'll just go towards that target. Whenever I have a change in the count of crystals, in the amount of crystals I have, whether it's more or less, it doesn't matter, I go over the entire crystals and set their targets again. And then the crystals just align and then just stay on top of their targets, which is just the standard circular rotation that I keep updating. I keep moving their targets in circular rotation. So when I update it, what I actually do is just move forward along all of my crystals. If I have, as an example, if I have just one, then I don't do anything, it just moves in rotation. If I have two, then I take the second one and make sure that it is 180 degrees away from the first one. If I have three, then first one, don't do anything. Second one, make sure that it's 120 degrees from the first one. And the third one, make sure it's 120 degrees from the second one. Okay, now that number, 180, 120, again, it's just 360 divided by the amount of crystals that I have. Hopefully that explains it. A little bit complicated. Kind of hard to just, explain in words. But you're going to see it in a second, and hopefully it'll be way, way more understandable. Before I show you, I have to say that we are hard at work, well, Gregory's hard at work, at changing everything in terms of how things look like, okay, visually, in terms of feedback, what you get, how do you understand what a magnet is doing, and the states. We're hard at work trying out all kinds of things, so what you're going to see is very different from what you saw last time, and it'll be very different by the time we're finished. It keeps changing. We're going to try and ignore that and just focus on the crystals, right? Yes, we are, but don't be overwhelmed by the crazy stuff happening on your screen. Okay, that's all I have to say. So let's jump to Unity. And yeah, we're yellow now. We switch to blue. Magnets are now in color. Let's ignore that and just focus on the crystals. So again, we said I'm picking up one. It just moves around me. It's not difficult to do. When I pick up the second one, you'll see it jump very quickly to 180 degrees away and then keeps on moving. Bam, jumps over there and keeps on moving. It actually jumps kind of fast. I might actually slow that down a little bit, but you get what it's what actually happens. If I pick up the third one, we get 3, it's pretty, and if I pick up the last one, we get a pretty diamond. Yay! Well, diamond, it's just all 4 of them are rotating. Currently, all of their animations start the same frame, so it doesn't look that cool, but if I'll just make sure that they start at a random frame in their whole animation, they'll rotate differently and it'll look cooler, I hope. So yeah, that's crystal rotation. If you have any questions, I didn't show you the code, but if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll try my best to answer them. The code isn't very difficult once you understand how the logic works. And yeah, everything is blue and yellow now. we're working on it. It'll be better. It'll be good. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.